Welcome along. It is Saturday. Yes, Saturday already of the 2023 final GP event of this year. It is opening round and we are here on this account, the free to play yet again. We've still got Verstappen, Onyx and Cloud Roar all 10% boosted. And let's show you how we line up in the leaderboard of the group so far. So we're around 10-15 places in the ranking, so a lot of work to do, but obviously we didn't use the premium boosts too much yesterday, or well, qualifying on Wednesday and Thursday. Today we've got the notoriously difficult Monza to come. We've got Sao Paulo, Jeddah and Miami. It's going to be a very interesting start to this GP weekend, so strap yourselves in. It could be very good, could be very bad as well. What are we running? Well, drivers Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez. And the car is looking like that. So let's get to it. Wish you all the best of luck. Make sure to comment down below if you need any support. But strategy guide was released on Friday for this weekend, so it's all in there as well. Let's give it our all for race number 1, and that race number 1 comes from Monza. So let's see what we can do. Can we get some decent enough points? This is a very tough track to go ahead and get some big points. I might stick both cars on a 4 hard, 4 hard. They're going to start quite a bit away from each other. So this might not be actually the worst plan in the world. Where do they start? 17 and 23. I might risk it with both on the hards. Now, if you know me by now, we're not going to try and use our good boosts. That is one thing we try not to do until the final round. We've got a real player as well, which makes it fun, or potentially fun. Let's see. Rival in their favour of their team score as well. And they're taking their time on their boost choices. Let's see what they go for. But we're going to try the one stop on both. So, can we get the best start? Can we start coming through the field? It's an average for Verstappen. It's a good for Perez. Obviously, Max Verstappen needs a bit more of a race start boost than he's got. So, into the first corner, and it's a decent enough start up the inside from Max Verstappen. He's now looking at Stroll in the Aston Martin. Can he get past early on into turns? I thought he was going to get him. We're going to leave him boosting. He now gets him. But Stroll comes back at us. And it's all changing, chopping and changing on this lap 1. We're going to keep pushing Verstappen. We don't want him to drop backwards. And we're coming down now to the hairpin. Or type hairpin. Long corner. Everything feels like a hairpin these days. And we are into P11, which is a good start. And that could get even better. No, not quite. We can't get past Ocon. Ocon looked like he's struggling for pace early on. And here comes a move from Max. Can't get through. Can we get past Ocon at some point? No, Ocon holding us up. And we're probably going to lose the position to Bottas here. We're not going to boost. And we lost position. So we're going to try and just earn that power unit. Perez hasn't made any ground. He's still P20. And there's a few people starting to pit. So we're ahead of Leclerc. And we are up to P10. You can see Perez there in the background, P17. So this is not too bad so far. Perez is going to come good. That's what we've got to tell ourselves. We are pushing Verstappen more than we would like. And he finally gets past Ocon. And here's Perez on De Vries. No, can't get through. But we should hopefully get some cars pitting this lap as well. We've clicked the wrong screen. Rookie mistake. We haven't missed anything. We're into P6. rookie mistake. So, P6 for Verstappen. It's Perez in P13. And we're going to push both of these now to try and just get a gap. Here's Verstappen on George Russell. Can he get through? He can't at the moment. Perez is up to P12. And into the final corner on lap 4, we will be having a pit stop for Max. So, good pit stop needed so we don't double stack here. We've got a slight pit time boost on as well. Oh, and that's going to work lovely. Max Verstappen just can't get out ahead of Ocon. And he's out in P12. Perez just getting ahead of that pack. And he's into P18. So, all to play for. Halfway through. Can we get any more points than what we have got at the moment? We're getting chased by the rival on hards, but he'll have to pit again. We're trying to gain our power unit back. We're only not doing too bad. It's a very difficult circuit, this one. Everybody knows that one as well. And here we are down the straight. We are up to P10. And Perez up to P16. We'll push so we don't get... Oh, well, we are going to get done on the initial pit exit. Rival got ahead of us, but I'm not too worried because they've still got a pit. I am worried if Kevin Magnussen gets past, though. And we are just finding our feet. Rival next lap should be coming in. And we should have boosted that point, but we didn't. We are there, P11. There's a few people pitting. Can we get ahead of the Ferrari? Yes, we can. So we're up to P10 again for Verstappen. Or P11. Pit exit is so powerful at Monza sometimes. Here comes Perez on Gasly. He's got ahead. P14. So Perez moving himself up. Verstappen can only get in to P11. And here's trying to move on Max. Can he get the job done? No, he can't. Out of the corner we go. Rival will be pitting this lap. If he's not, he's running out of tyres. And there he goes. He's in. And we're only up to P10. This is going to be the best we can do by the look of it. P10 and P13. And Monza is just so tough. So tough to fight. We're pushing and we're catching the cars ahead. And we're up to P12. Is there anything left in it for us? Down the final straight, round the final corners. We boost Verstappen, we boost Perez. But it is just going to be P10 for Verstappen, P12 for Perez. And that is 28 points. That is a very, very difficult first race here in Monza. But we'll happily leave it be and move on. So let's just show you that matchup. 1385 versus 1416. Looking at the drivers, same driver but had Stroll. And the car speed, over cornering, it just never works. Never works. So welcome to race number 2. Race 2 coming from Brazil and Sao Paulo, and hopefully it's going to be a lot better than that very difficult Monza track. I think everybody hates that one, but we're here to see if we can score big points at the Brazilian GP race. And it's a good start for Verstappen. Look at that, P12 with Perez up there. So Verstappen, we're going to go on to the medium tyres, and we are just going to use that ballast boost again. And Perez, we're going to do the same. We're not going to try and use them good boosts. We're going to try and hold them for tomorrow and see what we can do there. So let's hit it out. Let's see what we can do. Another real race. That's what we always get on this account. We're definitely in the frame of the range for real players. So here we go. We're planning to do 5 laps for Max Verstappen. He's only got 80 tyre management. It's going to be difficult, but we're going to try and just let him run. Perez is going to do a 3-3-3. And we're going to just get around this part, and we're going to cut Verstappen down. Perez, we can continue to push. And we just want to protect Verstappen's tyres. He hasn't got decent race start, so he might start nipping backwards a little bit. But look at this chaos. I haven't seen traffic this bad since the motorway on a Friday coming home from work. P16 for Perez. And Verstappen is right on the cusp of 5 laps. That is what we want. If we can do a 5-4, it's going to be so much quicker. And here's Perez into P14. Just trying to give some power unit back to him at the moment. But he's going to do a 3-3-3. Can we get Perez through? Past the most annoying K-Mag, and we're going to take 3 cars in one corner. Perez takes it. And Perez is now flying through. Look at that. Verstappen P10. Perez has absolutely flew. Verstappen on course still to do the 5 laps, whilst Perez has gone from P23 up to P8 now. So Perez is in the mood for racing, and he's right behind Lando Norris in P7. Can he get through? Yes, he can. He's up to P7. Verstappen making a move on Leclerc. He's up to P9. Fancy some good points here. Perez coming in now. He's going to be hopefully running in some clear air when he comes out, but you never know. Verstappen chasing down Lando. Just going to try and look after where we can. We're going to be a lot quicker at the end of this race. And look at this. Oh, Perez coming out beautifully ahead of that pack into P14. Here goes Verstappen on Norris. Through that middle section up to P4. And we're going to be very close to running out of tyres here. But I'm going to carry on. We're probably going to run out halfway up that hill. But it's so much quicker to do a 5-4. Alonso goes past. We're going to just keep conserving. And it's Perez up to P11. Perez finding his feet here in Brazil. Look at that. Another move up to P10. He is flying. There's Verstappen. Only got 4% tyres now. So we're going to conserve down. Up the hill. We said he might run out up the hill. I think he's going to make it up the hill. Yes, he will when he'll be coming in at P5. What about Perez? He's in P10. Norris ahead. And now Norris behind, up to P7. We're going to try and get past Charles Leclerc as well. Verstappen couldn't get ahead of Gasly. So now the race is on. Key factors, round the outside we go, up to P11. So great stint for Verstappen on that 5 medium, 4 medium. So powerful around here. And now we are flying. Up the hill we go. Looking at Lance Stroll. Easy money. P10. And look at that. Verstappen up to P6 now. You can see why I favour the one-stop sometimes. It's Verstappen and Perez absolutely flying out there. Verstappen looking at Sainz, job done nice and easy. And just Monza is going to be the killer this weekend for this account, I tell you. Here comes Verstappen on Verstappen into P4. Beautiful move. Perez coming up the hill as well. 2 laps to go. And we are in a very good position. Can Perez take Russell and the Ferrari? He can take the Ferrari. He's up into P7. Let's push Verstappen. Perez behind Russell. Can Perez get a move? Can he go around the outside? He can't. What about the inside line? Here he goes, P6. Beautiful. Any more pit stops? No. So this is it now. We have got to do our very best to try and close any more positions down. And there's, I can see, Perez catching Max. That'll be music. That's not been heard on F1 before. Perez catching Max Verstappen. Let's see if we can push. Can we get one more out of this race? One more point would be nice. I don't think we're going to get it though. What about Perez? Up the hill. Oh, we can get Max. It's P4 for Verstappen. It's P5 Perez. What a race for us in Brazil. 41 points. Whilst the rival is out the back, P18, P22 with boosts as well. Just shows you if you can get your strategy right, you can make good points. And that is what we certainly have done at this track in Brazil. So a big 41 points in race number 2. Similar, not far off team scores either. And we were running, well, they were running level 7 Charles Leclerc. And the car, more speed, just not as much cornering as ourselves. Good pit time though, but Voyage sending the rivals team score up a lot higher. Race number 3 then, we are off to Jeddah. And this could be tricky for our poor tyre management. Let's see what the weather does though. It could be hot here as well. So just 28 degrees in this qualifying session that's going to determine where we start. And we start P18, P23. Max Verstappen pushed really far back. 31 degrees, 32 and 26. So we're going to use Perez on the hards. We're going to pit Verstappen And we're going to just use that ballast boost again. We're just going to save the boosts. And tomorrow, we will be at it properly. So, let's see what happens here. See if we can get off to another decent enough points scoring. So Verstappen, you'd think he's got a grid penalty, but he hasn't. He lines up P18 and another average start. He needs that race start boost. Rival giving us a little bit of a push from behind Leclerc on the hards with Frost, but Verstappen has made a good start and he comes up to P15. He's made 3 places on the start, with Perez making up a couple as well. You want to push through this first section here, because the next section you can't really overtake. So we keep pushing down as we are into P14, and we will cut back now on both drivers. We'll keep kind of boosted, and now we'll cut down, as that's the only place there where you've just seen Perez lose that you tend to lose a position. We can now save our power unit like we're doing. Look, we're not losing any time to that pushing firework Verstappen. We'll put on the pace. We'll still conserve down the straight. Perez looking good in P21 at the minute, or P20, but he should make some good moves at the first round of pit stops. We're going to push through this section here. It's Verstappen up to P13. Remember, you can push here, and then we'll cut back down. And Perez is up to P18 now. Can he get any more? No, he can't. We'll cut back down. So pit stop time, and we're going to go for softs again. And we're going to then finish on 3 laps of hard. So let's get Verstappen in. And we'll push Perez. Can he hold on to Albon? Yes, he can. And now he's going to make some good moves. So Perez on that hard tyre is up to P9, but make that P10 as Russell comes out the pits. And we're going to come back for the hards again. Can we make any moves down this section? We're going to push Verstappen in this section as well. We always want to be pushing here. Hard tyres, it's a bit more difficult to overtake, but can we get Norris? We can get... Oh, we backed out of it. He got scared. And P10. So we cut back down. This is the only chance you can overtake there. And it is up to P15 again for Max. So P10 for Perez. P15 for Max Verstappen. Perez now coming round. Will he run out of tyres? I don't think he will. He'll be okay. And we'll cut down. Some few cars ahead of us. We're going to push now. This section again. Perez just coming out of his pit box now. Quite a few cars going on. We're not going to catch any of them. But here comes Verstappen. Can he get past Sainz? Oh, he's blocked out. Where's the car length room? And now Verstappen is past. What about Perez? P20 at the moment. Doing that 3-3-1. He's going to be fast on the last lap. We're going to cut down again, because we don't tend to lose any places here. If we do, it's just silly me. But look, we're just not losing anything. And it's Verstappen now coming into the pits. Perez round to the final corner as Max Verstappen hits his pit box. And we are trying to do the alternative strategy here. We are up to P12. We can push through this section here. So can Max, who's just coming out the pits. We are going to have to gain some power unit back at some point for Perez. But we're going to try and get past Alex Albon first of all in that Williams. And we are through. Up to P11. Verstappen P14. So this is not too bad. A very difficult Jeddah. Rivals ahead of us on the softs. We're going to move back up to medium now. Out of the last corner we come. We're going to boost slightly to try and hold off Albon. We're going to hold on to Verstappen as well. We're up to P6. Verstappen into P9. We need to push. We don't want to push too much, but I can't help it, because this part is needed. Can we get back past Norris? No power unit at all. Now we're going to have to try and save some power unit. That's that place I was on about where you do lose a position. But Perez's P8 is gaining some power unit back now. And we don't need to service, do we? If we've got one more lap. He's gained 25%, so he's going to be at least a little bit quick on this last lap. What's Max Verstappen doing? He goes past, and there's a couple of cars in the pits, including our own, and he moves up to P7. That's not a bad return. Perez's strategy doesn't feel like it's worked, has it? We tried it. It does work sometimes. I think it depends on the AI strategy. So we're up to P17. I think we're going to find it hard to get past some of these cars. K-Mag, we are past. Can we get past Gasly? I think that might be it then. Cool, cut down. We've just been stuck in too much traffic. P16. Don't think we're going to get any higher. Which is a shame because Max has finished in P7. It's Perez letting the team down yet again. Oh, difficult race. $27 points. A lot to learn for tomorrow. Obviously, we're not using the better boosts as well. I think that 331 would be so much better with a different type of boost. Something that gives me good race start, big cornering, instead of 5 cornering. That's probably the difference. So, Max Verstappen, 8. Charles Leclerc, 4 for the rival. And, yeah, speed over cornering again. And what happens? We get more points every single time. Race 4 then, Miami, and the last race of this opening round video that you'll get to see. And we probably want it to be wet. I feel like we'll have a better strategy in the wet than we will in the dry here. We've got a 62% chance or something of rain, and we start P17, P22. It's going to be a dry start to the race. We're going to do Verstappen on the softs, Perez on the mediums. We're going to use that ballast boost again because we're stingy. We are very stingy. So, let's see what happens. We've got a bit of rain coming in here as well, which could make the difference when it comes to the AI staying out on the dries. Real player again. Can we get big points? So here we go then. Verstappen we know is not going to get a good start. That will change tomorrow because they will be perfect when we start using our boost properly. And that's going to help massively. But already Verstappen is up to around the outside, past Gasly into P12. And it's a great start into P11 as well. Can we get K-Mag to complete it into the top 10? Not quite. So Verstappen into P11. That's a very good start. And he's going to try and get past Baby Stroll. And he's going to do that into P10. Perez currently sitting P15 now. He's managed to get a position. We are P10, P15. That's a good start with not even a perfect. So we are going to run out of tyres on Perez. His tyre management is shocking. It's either that or we're going to have to just try and conserve now with him. And hopefully we can squeak out 3 laps. But Verstappen, coming around this twisty section, enters the straight again. But Perez sitting there in P17. And let's go for, we're going to go mediums. I'm going to go 3 laps here with Verstappen because I think it's going to be wet shortly. Perez, I forgot to boost up. Rookie mistake. And Verstappen flying out here at the moment. But it's about 30 seconds or so a lap. 35 seconds, I think. So if we go to mediums, we're not going to be too bad. But Perez rounds the final corner, going backwards all the time, trying to conserve with him. It's just like, oh, I don't know what it's like. It's painful. Is what it's like. But he's P13, and he's going to go to the softs this time round. Verstappen, P15. We're going to just conserve now with him, because I think the next Verstappen pit stop will be a wet tyre change. And I think we've timed this to perfection. It's around 35 seconds, I think, a lap. So if we can manage this, we'll be okay. Perez is just going to run out of tyres at the end of this straight. So we're just going to conserve as much as we can. And he shouldn't lose too much time there. We've got to go for the softs. It's 48 seconds until the rain comes in. Verstappen is into the top 10. We know the rain's for a couple of minutes, so we are going to finish in the wet stuff. And Perez comes out behind Nick de Vries. 30 seconds till that rain comes in. Verstappen's motoring along. We might have to just pit Perez here again. We've gained a good power unit back. Do we just go ahead and pit him? Because he's far enough back. Verstappen I'm going to send round again. Or do I? No, we're going to come in. Change of plan, we are coming in with both drivers. Servicing's not going to affect us too much. Rain is now coming down. Verstappen already out. And we're going to have to try and hope for the best here. Will we get the points that we need? We don't need any points, but we want good ones. Verstappen past Gasly now. Cars starting to struggle. Perez is last. Double pit stop. Two pit stops in 2 laps hasn't helped that. And down the straight we go. Can we get past anyone? And we're now motoring. Verstappen into P12. Good choice on the early pit stop here. Perez struggling like always. Still P22. Coming out the final corner. 2 laps to go. Is there any more room for manoeuvre? Verstappen now goes past the rival and he's into P11. Cars starting to struggle and Perez making up ground. Can't get ahead of the rival though, P15. Verstappen's up to P9. And everyone's starting to struggle. If they're not on the wets, they are struggling. And Perez has got both rival in front of us. We're going to try and push through this section. We are right behind a bunch of cars for Verstappen as well. Can we get Lewis Hamilton or the rival? Yes, we can. Gasly as well up next. Cannot get him. But Verstappen, bang there. And what about Gasly? Is he next for us? Yes, he is. P13. Verstappen up to P5. P4. K-Mag's coming out of the pits. We're going to survive that one. And now we are seriously getting some points. Down the straight we go. Norris next up. And here comes a move. Oh, no move. This Mercedes, I think he's on the dry tyres. And it is. We're into P10. Trying to push as much as we can. But Verstappen's going to get on the podium here. In P3. It's a brilliant race for him. P3. 22 points for Verstappen. Perez coming around the fast corner. He's managed a podium position for Verstappen, but Perez couldn't manage the podium position. He stayed P10, just inside the top 10. And that strategy definitely suited Max how it has suited him before. So 1385 versus 1281 in that race. And you can see a bit of a messy race in terms of weather. We did manage some good points, so that's the main thing. Rival using level 4 and level 3. Max Verstappen. And then the car as well. Big cornering for the rival. Very, very low speed as well. 93. So definitely on the right tune. Probably just needs a little bit more speed in their strategy and their setup. But that is 37 points. Let's show you how we've got on so far. And we are 4 races done and dusted. And we have scored so far, with just using pretty much ballast boosts, it is 133 points. So 4 more races to do, which will be coming offline. And then hopefully tomorrow we'll be back with the final round. It might not be in this setup. It might just be the phone mode, but I'll see what time I have available. But tomorrow we unleash the good boosts. We try with the big 20 plus race starts, the 20 plus cornerings, and we see what we can do. But good luck to every single one of you in your opening round. Make sure you get through. And if you're struggling, let me know down in my Discord and we can try and help you get through to the final round. But good luck to every single one of you.